hour or so. And at a news conference at 10 a.m. this morning at the Delridge Community Center, Mayor Harrell announced care teams will now be responding in South and Southwest Seattle. Care teams are made up of mobile social workers. They can respond with police and fire crews or on their own, offering services to people in need who are living on the streets, in cars or RVs, and often in crisis. The goal is to take pressure off of police officers, giving them more time to respond to violent crimes and other issues. Now, at this morning's news conference, the mayor talked about the team's effectiveness so far.
We've responded to over 1,700 incidents with an average response time of less than 12 minutes and an average time on the scene of approximately 33 minutes. Over a quarter of those requests involve transport to shelters and day centers, a time-intensive ask which would have taken police away from other priorities.
Now, the teams are also trained in de-escalation to help keep volatile incidents from becoming violent. Care teams have been patrolling downtown, the Chinatown International District, and Capitol Hill. And in January, the North Precinct was added. Those teams also provide basics like food, water, and clothing. And at this morning's news conference, the mayor mentioned that now, with this new announcement within the last hour or so, those care teams are now responding to every part of the city.
Theron, thank you. A new nonprofit outreach team is now operating in Seattle's Little Saigon, an area that has long struggled with drugs and violence. We Deliver Care just deployed its 6-member team. They walk every inch of Little Saigon from 6 a.m. until 9:30 at night, hauling supplies from water and food to Narcan and cigarettes. The nonprofit touts itself as a policing alternative trained in de-escalation tactics.
Our main goal is to build trust with the community, where they'll rather call us instead of calling the officers.
The group says it is all about building relationships, and when it works, people get connected with services and find a way off the streets. The start of spring is just a day away, but as you can see on the weather radar, one more winter storm is headed our way first. Meteorologist George Waldenberger is tracking it from the Weather Center and joins us with a look at what we can expect this afternoon into the evening. George?
Molly, we all have our sights set on spring, and it will be here in less than 15 hours, but that's enough time for one more winter storm, and that arrives tonight. You can see it already lashing the coast with rain. It moves in tonight. The rain, the wind, and the mountain snow return. It's already raining here north of Grays Harbor from Taholah, and then we have snow over Hurricane Ridge, the rain spreading over Paulsbo, Hood Canal Bridge, up towards South Whidbey, Lake Stickney, Shoreline Edmonds, and it's pushing in the direction of Marysville, Arlington, and North Whidbey. The rest of Seattle, we have some raindrops falling here and there. It's generally a light rain, but we're still waiting for things to get going. Hood Canal Bridge, the lens is wet. We have rain droplets on the lens and overcast skies and damp tarmac here at Olympia's airport. Hurricane Ridge is looking snowy right now. Yes, the camera is on. The snow is falling. In Seattle, again, in the short term, through around noon, 1 o'clock, a stray shower here or there, generally light. But notice how we're pretty quiet the rest of the afternoon. That's because we're still waiting for the rain to return. So coming up, I'll show you that rain progressing, moving in tonight, the winds picking up tonight, and then what that means for tomorrow, a fairly unsettled Thursday ahead. All right, Molly?
All right, George, talk to you more soon. Thank you. An affordable housing complex will be coming to Seattle's SoDo neighborhood. City council members have now signed off on the land use and zoning change to make way for the so-called Makers District. KOMO's Jackie Kent was there for a passionate council meeting and vote where people made their final arguments both for and against the plan.
We support the Makers neighborhood.
One by one, and in front of rows of spectators and signs, dozens of people who live and work in SoDo and nearby Pioneer Square pleaded for Seattle City Council to move forward with an affordable housing project in SoDo.
Critics argue that this will disrupt Seattle's maritime and freight economy. Let me be clear. We can support our working waterfront while also addressing our housing needs.
One longtime tea house owner said she feels SoDo is too dangerous to relocate her business there, but that the addition of the planned space for small businesses and up to 1,000 housing units could change that.
Because it's such a dangerous area currently, We didn't want to bring our employees down there unless we had a plan to transport them in and out.
The Port of Seattle commissioner and a coalition representing 70 organizations urged council to delay the vote until more information can come to light. Details like exact location, long-term impacts of housing by the port, the effect on maritime jobs, and safety.
That is not a good idea. I mean, I can't even fathom how anyone would think it would be a good idea, because what's going to happen is somebody's going to get hit by a truck and somebody's going to die.
Council members Dan Strauss, Bob Kettle, and Alexis Mercedes Rink said the vote needed more time to talk through last-minute amendments filed a day earlier. But council ultimately moved forward with their plan.
This is a process that, in my opinion, has created more division than it has needed to.
Delaying the vote will not change that this is a difficult issue.
Jackie Kent, KOMO News.
Councilmember Strauss had 2 motions to delay the vote that failed, and ultimately that plan passed 6-3. The Port of Seattle is sharing its disappointment, saying in part, SoDo needs to be a destination for the maritime and clean energy economy, not condos. We need to execute on competing for trade and activating the clean energy transformation. We are not done fighting for that long-term vision for Seattle. Now to Snohomish County, where health officials have confirmed the 2nd case of measles in Washington state this year. The newest patient is a man from Snohomish County who tested positive on Monday. This case is linked to the first measles case in our state, which was a child in King County who tested positive last month. Health officials say the man was likely exposed at one of the locations where the child had visited while contagious. After assessing potential additional exposures, they determined there is no risk to the general public from this new case. The current number of measles cases across the nation have now surpassed the total for all of last year. The multi-state outbreak has now reached 321 cases. 279 of those are in Texas. New Mexico reports 38 cases. Health officials say vaccines are highly effective at preventing measles, but the vaccination rates continue to decline. Most U.S. measles cases this year are in those who were unvaccinated or with an unknown vaccination status.
What this tells us is if more people were vaccinated, we would not be seeing a resurgence of measles in the United States today.
Measles is highly contagious and can cause serious health problems, even death, especially for young and unvaccinated children. The CDC says about 1 in 5 unvaccinated people in the U.S. who get measles will be hospitalized. A live look now at the White House. President Trump speaking on the phone this morning with Ukraine's President Zelensky about Russia's war in Ukraine. That call comes a day after Trump spent nearly 2 hours on the phone with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Trump posted on social media the call was to try to align both Ukraine and Russia in terms of their requests and needs to reach a 30-day ceasefire. The White House says the president even proposed a U.S. takeover of Ukrainian power plants to better protect them. No word yet on Zelensky's response to that. During Trump's talk with Putin on Tuesday, the Russian leader did agree to stop targeting energy infrastructure in Ukraine, but stopped short of agreeing to the U.S.-backed 30-day unconditional ceasefire that Ukraine has already agreed to. Ukraine's president said this morning that despite what Putin told Trump, Russia bombed more energy targets overnight. The Kremlin claims it was Ukraine that first targeted one of Russia's pipelines. New rules could make it more complicated for some people to collect Social Security benefits. The Trump administration says the regulations are aimed at reducing fraud. A rule starting March 31st requires people who cannot prove their identity online to visit a field office in person. Another bars beneficiaries from changing their bank account information by phone starting March 29th. The changes come as the agency is closing some field offices and trying to reduce its workforce by about 12%. Officials do add that online services will still be available. And that brings us to this morning's KOMO Pulse poll. We're asking, what do you think about the new Social Security requirements about to take effect? Right now, most people at 56% think it's a good idea. 30% say bad idea, and 14% say more information required. If you'd like to add your vote, point your phone's camera at that QR code there on the side of your screen. It creates a link that will take you directly to the poll at KOMOnews.com.
Light rail expansion up against a massive budget hole that's yet to be solved. Where will that money come from, or will the projects be heavily scaled back?
All right, things are fairly quiet. We just have a few light raindrops around Seattle right now, but we're just getting going with our weather maker. Next, we'll walk you through the increase in wind, the return of the rain, and the mountain snow that will be with us the rest of the week.
Also ahead, the Makah tribe one step closer to hunting gray whales again. Why the tribe wants to resume this tradition and the opposition they face. Plus, the public's chance to weigh in. And now here's our Who Knew question today. More than 1.1 million packages of this are purchased or eaten every day. Send your guesses to the KOMO News Facebook page or on X using the hashtag KOMO News.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
A long overdue homecoming, 9 months in the making. The two astronauts whose planned 8-day mission turned into 286 days aboard the International Space Station returned to Earth yesterday afternoon. Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore got a ride home on a SpaceX Dragon capsule. Their short mission last June turned into the longer stay after NASA determined the Boeing Starliner spacecraft they were testing was not fit for a return home. Williams and Wilmore are now at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where they're undergoing medical evaluations and will spend 45 days of recovery and physical therapy, which is necessary to help them reacclimate to Earth's gravity. After more than a quarter century, the Makah tribe is a step closer to hunting gray whales again. The Makah tribe is located in Neah Bay in the northwest corner of the state. The Tribal Council has now submitted an application for a permit to hunt whales. KOMO's Stella Sun has an update on where things stand.
For the Makah tribe, hunting whales is tradition.
The Makah tribe, through the 1855 Treaty in Neah Bay, reserved rights of whaling and sealing, and that's been a practice that has gone on for millennia.
The Makah is the only tribe with a treaty with the U.S. that specifically mentions the right to hunt whales. This is video from 1999, the last time the Makah people practiced what they call a cultural ceremony.
It was just a wonderful time for our community, revitalized a lot of our cultural and spiritual practices and changed lives for people.
The tribe submitting a hunting permit to the feds to resume this traditional practice. It comes after more than 2 decades of legal challenges. The 1972 Marine Mammal Protection Act forbids harming marine mammals. Last June, the tribe clearing a major hurdle. Federal regulators approving the tribe's request for a waiver to hunt gray whales.
There's a whole generation that's hasn't been able to undertake this activity and participate in those ceremonies and celebrate their culture around our whaling tradition.
NOAA Fisheries will now review the permit submission. At the same time, NOAA Fisheries is seeking public comment on the Makah tribe's permit application for a limited hunt. If approved, members can hunt 2 or 3 eastern North Pacific gray whales a year, or 25 over a decade.
What would you want to say to any animal rights groups who see your guys' traditional practice as inhumane?
We understand that people are opposed to those types of activities. You know, we're not a threat to this whale population, and we want to make sure that it's healthy and thriving just as they do.
Stella Sun, Como News.
Animal rights advocates could still challenge NOAA's decision in court. The Animal Welfare Institute, based in Washington, D.C., says their organization would likely wait until final approvals are given before deciding whether to sue. Well, let's get a live look outside right now, and there is downtown Seattle. We've got some clouds hanging out overhead, George, and that's just the precursor, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a little rain falling from those clouds as well, although not surprising, is it, Molly? We are just getting started, and we have 3 weather makers between now and Sunday, and this is the final full day of winter. We get one more winter storm before spring begins tomorrow. Still kind of waiting for that system, though. LaConner, a beautiful shot coming in from Vicky Dvorak, and this afternoon we're generally waiting for the storm with a few light showers. This evening the showers build in a little bit more widespread around Seattle, and the winds pick up. Overnight, wet and gusty, and the mountain snows really begin to form as our first weather maker moves in. Tomorrow night, it's quick succession. We have our next one already rolling in, and then Sunday we'll get a third one. So at this point, Saturday looks to be the calmest day of the next 4 or 5. Winds are already picking up here. Seattle, Everett gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, and around the San Juan Islands, North Whidbey and Port Townsend. They may actually top 40 miles per hour over the islands tonight. Will stay breezy really for the rest of the work week, but this does set the stage for some needed rainfall. We're behind where we normally would be on an average year at this point, so 1 to 2 inches more of rain will be possible through the weekend with those 3 weather makers. That'll chip away at our rainfall deficit for the year, which is now over 4 inches. This also comes with up to 2 feet of mountain snow, generally above 2,500 to 3,500 feet through Saturday night. Thing is, next week we warm up. By Sunday, those snow levels will begin climbing back up. So we will have to watch conditions at Stevens and Snoqualmie Pass becoming slippery overnight through tomorrow and into much of the weekend. Right now, though, we're waiting 49 degrees. Some areas have topped 50, and the rain is already falling to Hola to Forks. We have snow over Hurricane Ridge and the Olympic Mountains. We have rain falling Kingston, Port Ludlow, now over South Whidbey and Camano Island. This will be drifting toward Mount Vernon, Arlington, and Bow. San Juan Island seeing some showers develop, light rain around Maple Valley and Des Moines. But after this initial push moves through, then we're quiet the rest of the afternoon in Seattle with mostly cloudy skies. A few more showers develop, as you can see, for the evening as the winds pick up. But realize Forks, Aberdeen, Long Beach looking wet this afternoon as those showers build in from the west. You can see, though, for the evening, that's when the rains become widespread over Seattle. Overnight through tomorrow morning's drive, we have gusty showers and the mountain snows. Then for tomorrow, the rain builds for the afternoon again, and it really lingers through Friday morning, and then will calm down Friday night into Saturday. Here's your extended forecast. So a messy weather pattern for the next, say, 3 days, with the rains picking up this evening. We have off and on showers for tomorrow morning's drive. Tomorrow afternoon looks wet. It is a chilly first day of spring tomorrow. We stay breezy through Friday morning. Friday morning, the first part of the day looks to be wetter. The afternoon and evening will dry out just a little bit. The showers break up. Saturday looks to be the drier weekend day at 53 degrees. Then some gusty showers on Sunday. At this point, not looking too windy. We'll keep an eye on that. But there it is, our spring warm-up. Monday and Tuesday Tuesday, Molly. We're going to see how close to 70 degrees we can get Tuesday and Wednesday. But don't get used to it, because the end of next week, we're going to cool back down, okay?
Okay, all right.
Up and down we go.
Little blips of spring, though. That's nice.
That's how we start.
Okay, let's get back to that Who Knew question now. More than 1.1 million packages of this are purchased or eaten every day.
Okay. All right, we're approaching the first day of spring. I don't know if that has anything to do with this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was just thinking about packages of chips.
I know, so was I.
Yeah, but that almost feels like too much of an easy go-to, and these questions are never an obvious answer, right?
They're not often, no, but I do like the idea of like tortilla chips, chips and salsa kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's go with that for now. I reserve the right to change my answer.
Of course. Let's see what other people are guessing today. Granola bars.
Okay, the healthier option, and Cherry says potato chips.
Okay. Jim says Twinkies.
Twinkies, that could be it. Kraft mac and cheese, that sounds good, Tony. Thanks for that.
Okay. All right, we'll keep sending those guesses in. You can go to the KOMO News Facebook page or X, use the hashtag KOMO News.
Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel has been voted the best in the region with 6 prestigious awards, including being named one of the best in the Pacific Northwest. Find yourself soaring to excitement. Find yourself at Lucky Eagle.
Lucky Eagle. America's favorite.
A recall alert this morning involving some lean cuisine and Stouffer's frozen meals. Nestle says a potential wood-like material might be found in some of the food. The foods being recalled are specifically lean cuisine butternut squash ravioli, spinach artichoke ravioli, and lemon garlic shrimp stir fry, as well as Stouffer's party-sized chicken lasagna. These meals were distributed at major U.S. retailers between last September and this month. Nestle does say it's confident this is an isolated issue. You can return the meals to the store for a replacement or a refund. The first day of spring is tomorrow, and with spring comes an increase in pollen exposure and allergies. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America just released its annual report on the most problematic regions for allergy sufferers. The top areas are in the Midwest and the Southeast. Wichita, Kansas topped that list of the most challenging places to live with seasonal allergies. That's followed by New Orleans and then Oklahoma City. The Seattle area was ranked 68th out of 100 cities in the report. March is National Kidney Month, meant to raise awareness about kidney disease and to promote kidney health. Doctors at Mayo Clinic say too much salt in your diet can increase your risk of chronic kidney disease. Your kidneys balance the amount of sodium in your body, and if you're getting too much, it builds up in your blood. Your heart has to work harder than to pump, increasing blood pressure and raising the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. Sodium is added to most processed foods. It's also in a lot of condiments.
So it's very easy for us to get way more sodium than we need, and it's very easy for us to get a dangerous amount of sodium that has some impact on our blood pressure or our overall health.
The recommended daily limit of sodium is 2,300 milligrams, or about 1 teaspoon. Dr. Porter recommends reading food labels and cutting back on the salt shaker by using salt-free seasonings. Another live look outside here this Wednesday morning from our Queen Anne camera. KOMO News at 11 continues after the break.
Family.
You're watching KOMO News.
Sound Transit is short by billions of dollars in its efforts to expand into West Seattle. But at the same time, businesses that will be displaced by the expansion say the help being offered is too little for them to relocate. KOMO's Joel Marino looks at the multiple financial challenges confronting the transit system.
As Sound Transit finalizes plans to run light rail to West Seattle, businesses like Alki Beach Academy are sorting out how they'll keep operating once they're forced to move.
Financial support and resources for displaced small businesses who are tenants is extremely minimal.
Property owners receive fair market value for their land, but Sound Transit also needs to remove 70 businesses to make way for the new route to Alaska Junction. Renters like this Children's Academy say the help they get is currently capped at $50,000 plus moving expenses. Jordan Crawley took his concerns to the Seattle City Council, where Sound Transit was updating its own financial struggles with the $7 billion West Seattle extension.
Demands for labor, materials, equipment, they're driving costs up across the board. Real estate costs continue to rise.
Sound Transit is short about $3 billion and had been counting on federal money that may or may not be approved. So for now, they're searching for other ways to cut costs and be more efficient.
It's going to invariably result in some revised scoping, a deep analysis to discern, what kind of additional cost-saving measures could be taken.
Crawley says he supports the expansion of light rail, but also needs city leaders to have their backs, because they'll be among the very first to be displaced.
So we're going to need support sooner rather than later, and we can't afford for our leaders to wait.
Joel Marino, KOMO News.
Sound Transit expects to have a better idea on project costs later this fall. Construction of the West Seattle extension is expected to begin in about 2 years. Kent police officers are crediting witnesses for stepping in to help a victim of domestic violence. Several people called 911 Friday evening to report a man dragging a woman outside a tavern on Washington Avenue and then forcing her into a car against her will. Callers were able to provide a picture of the vehicle, a license plate, and a good description of the suspect. Police say officers were then able to quickly track down the couple and arrest the man. A local organization called Project Be Free helped the victim, who lives out of state, find a place to stay and get in contact with her family.
And this is like a prime example of how oftentimes violence is going to leave a household and how it's important for us as community and residents to know how to respond to a certain instance like that.
The organization also helped the victim get a temporary order of